Hello everyone and welcome to Kryptonite, the crypto investor channel. I'm Boris, so let's dive in. I'm with Colton today. Hello Colton.
Hey Boris, welcome back to the Kryptonite channel, everyone.
All right, let's talk about Solana.
Yes, my first question for you today, Boris, is what is Solana, and can you kind of dive into the project for us?
Yeah, so Solana, they're layer 1 blockchain. They're sitting on their own blockchain called Solana, of course. Now, what's taking them slightly different from the others? They're using a proof of history as opposed to proof of work like Bitcoin or proof of stake like Ethereum now, and some other that are proof of stake is usually the most common one. They're very fast. They can have a maximum throughput currently of 50,000 transactions per second, and they can do transactions for a very low fee because an average transaction costs 0.00025 cents. So really a fraction of a cent. So very low costs. They also can be built. You can build actually different things on Solana using C, C++, Rust. So they're also compatible with some very common languages, which is one of the reasons why they attracted so many programmers. There are lots of programmers on Solana. Now, the proof of history concept that they use, it's basically recording time, which is something that most of the other blockchains don't do, to make sure that something happened before and after an event. So it's kind of a different concept, and that's one of the things also that allows them to have such a high throughput. And then of course you can, be a holder, be staking those. They need validators, so staking is also a possibility here. Once again, as opposed to the Ethereum virtual machine, which only runs, single-threaded and can only do one contract at a time, etc. Solana can do what I love, which is async. It can, at the same time, do thousands of things in parallel. So, and that's thanks to C-level that they're able to do that, and it's allowing them, therefore, to have multiple contracts executed at the same time. They're all running in parallel. So like we said, it's very fast. It's building blocks extremely rapidly. I believe it is. Yeah, I believe it's half a second per block. I need to double check that. But so it's it has really a bunch of core innovations. That's the thing also that sets them apart. They have several innovations that they're using, which makes them a bit unique compared to some of the others. Now, the SOL, S-O-L, is the native token of Solana, and it's used for staking, for the validators. It's being used to pay transaction fees. It is also used for governance. And since they use it a lot in their ecosystem and they force you to use Sol on Solana, it's really becoming increasingly valuable for the future.
Thank you, Boris, for that information. Can we kind of change gears here and talk about the history and performance of the coin?
Yeah, so they were created in 2017 in San Francisco by a team of software engineers, and they wrote their white paper back in 2018, and the Solana mainnet and the Sol token were launched in 2020. Like many other projects, they are still in beta. They are not fully finished. But that's true for most of the projects out there. I was saying that there are two big things, two innovations that they're doing that makes them different from the other. One of them is the proof of history, being a layer 1 proof of history blockchain, and the other one is sea level, which is the world's first parallel smart contracts runtime, which, like I explained, allows you to run multiple smart contracts at the same time. Now, they have others that are also very valuable. We're not going to go on every single one of them, but having all those different things compared to some of the others, sometimes we see some other projects, layer one projects, they seem to be just a pale copy of an existing project, like almost like a copy paste and then just rebrand it. Here we have true innovation. They have something very, very different from the others. When you stake, the stakers, the holders, they will receive half of the transaction fees, and all those, the other half usually is actually burned to lower the number of coins that are being created. So, of course, right now we've seen a lot of news about Solana because FTX was big behind their projects. They were financing a lot of projects. So that is probably one of the reasons why we see the coin has tanked lately. But if we look at the economics and everything else, the supply really is around 500 million tokens. About 363 million are in circulation currently. And they have an inflation rate of 8%, meaning there are 8% new tokens every year being created. This will be reduced 15% each year until 2031. So that 8% is going to reduce down by 15% every year. And the burning mechanism on the transaction, have the transaction fees, helps lowering the supply. And then by 2031, we should see a long-term inflation rate of about 1.5%. Now, they have a distribution with, as followed, the team received about 12%, the Solana Foundation has 10%. They sold, founding sale was about 12%, initial seed money was 16%, and then the rest is public and private sales. But what's important is Solana raised 25 millions on the first round, and then they did, at the initial coin offering, they did $314 million. So even though some people are a little bit fearful about what's going on with FTX, obviously FTX is in the bankruptcy, but some people think like, oh, it may spread to Solana. It's not so true because they are well funded and they are funded for the next 2 to 3 years. So they really have lots of runway in front of them.
That is some interesting news there, Boris. Thank you. Can we kind of now talk about what's new with Solana and, what's in their future roadmap for them, Boris?
Sure. So we see the price has definitely come down. If we look at the graphic, it's sitting right now at $13.87, but you can see here the big drop when at the beginning of November FTX's news really rattled the market. They at that point they were almost at $35, so they've gone down from 35 down to 12. But a year ago, back in November last year, they were sitting at $259. So currently they are down almost 95%, which is really a gigantic drop. They've dropped more than the others. And especially with FTX, lowered their price. Otherwise, they were doing okay. They were maintaining a price around $30 for several months. So the market was suffering. They suffered like everybody else, but they were doing fine. So this is mainly FUD, and that's interesting because that's what Crypto Globe is reporting, is that we could maybe see a rebound pretty soon, because sometimes people fear kicks in, they get worried, and then they realize as fear subsides, like, oh, maybe there was no such a reason, for the price to go down that hard. So that's one thing that could happen. And then there was a lot of shorts on Solana, and they may suffer a squeeze pretty soon. So that's definitely a possibility. Now, the other big thing is, the whole story with FTX. People are also worried because FTX is in trouble. Alameda, their investment branch, has put a lot of money, and therefore they hold a lot of Solana tokens. And that's what also is making a lot of people worried. They're like, well, what if they drop all their tokens on the market, because they need the money for bankruptcy, and it's going to collapse the price of the token, of Solana token. Well, there is always some risk, but even in bankruptcy, first of all, bankruptcies take a long time. So that may not be affecting in any immediate future. Second of all, they're going to need as much money as they can to FTX, to get out of that bankruptcy and to resolve some of their problems. So it is not in their best interest to dump everything in just one shot. They're just gonna kill their own sell if they do that. So usually they would sell it over time, over a period of several months, so that it doesn't affect the market too much. And then there could be a lot of over-the-counter sales, meaning that they sell it to some other entities over the counter, not going through an exchange, and that doesn't affect the price either. Now, they have a lot of money, like I was saying, and Solana Labs, they have different funds where they're investing in multiple projects, mainly about gaming on one side, and then social media on the other, and decentralized social media. And they're confirming that so far, out of those two funds, one is $100 million, the other one is $150 million. So you see that they're not out of money. They said they've written very little checks. They've invested 100K over here and sometimes even less. And they have not reached, they're very, very far from having spent even half of their money. So they still have lots of money to invest in different projects to help developers on the Solana blockchain to develop more games and more social media dApps. So that's a very good news that they have financing. The other thing is we've seen Doge, XRP gain quite a bit lately. And, it's definitely possible that if the market starts reversing a little bit, I'm not saying we're going back to 40, but maybe as the fear, FTX was a huge event, and there are very low chances that a larger event than FTX happens, this year. I mean, everything is always possible, but it's most unlikely that something like this would happen. So if they reverse, and Solana has been taking such a beating, we could see also a reversal of the Solana token. Now, one thing that is important to note is that they've had 5 major network interruptions since inception, and 3 of them happened this year. So of course, if they were to have another one, that would be definitely very bad for them. They just released a new version, and they're asking, it was 5 days ago, they urged everybody to upgrade to version 1.1.35 because they think that they might have the solution for those Solana network outages. So hopefully they can fix it, because if they don't, then yes, we might see some more downside. Now, one thing that's very important to note, mcrypto.com said one thing that's amazing is that Solana is showing growth in active addresses and numbers of transactions. And we're talking about the bear market. And when we're seeing all the others, including the big ones, the Near, the AVAX, the Polygons, all that stuff, they've all suffered, on the numbers of transactions and the number of active addresses. And Solana hasn't. On the contrary, they're seeing growth. So that's one of the very few layer one that's seeing some major growth. And to give you an idea, lately the number of transactions remain at 19.9 million transactions on the network, which is really big. And also the number of daily users they have on the network is 340,000 active users on Solana. So lots of people, lots of activity. The Solana NFT volume increased from 83,000 to 143,000 in the last 30 days. And now they have over 500,000 stackers on the network, people staking. So stakers, staking on the network. So really on the number side, they're looking great. They're looking really awesome on the numbers. So it's really because of their tie with FTX. Me personally, for me, and of course people do whatever they want, I am buying more because I think that it is an opportunity. So I'm currently DCAing, but I accelerated a little bit the DCA specifically on Solana because I think this is a great price. Now, of course, it might go down further, especially if the market goes down further. But since we never know where the bottom is, $13 to me is a really great price, knowing that they were at 35 just a month ago.
Thank you, Boris. Can we now talk about staking? I know right now it's not the best time to stake on an exchange, but can you give us any tips and tricks, Boris, on where we should stake Solana?
Yeah, Solana, don't stake it on any exchange. First of all, because it's super easy to stake on their network. And otherwise, you have wallets that offer great options. So first of all, you can stake it on the network itself. So if you go, let's say, to Solana.com, there are some interesting information, of course, about the whole community and everything. But if you go to Solflare, that's where you have the possibility to stake, access your wallet, connect your wallet, and then stake your coins. Now, they have their own Solana wallet, but these days, everybody has a wallet, and at some point, it might be a little bit too much to have like 50 wallets. But you could use their wallet, or, of course, they're compatible with Ledger, and they're compatible with some other wallets. So very easy to stake directly on the platform. And what you can expect is around 7.2 to 8% every year. Okay. Now, the one thing that I found that was even easier, as far as I'm concerned, is to stake on the wallet I already use. You can have Exodus, Atomic, Trust Wallet. And from what I've compared, Exodus is the best one. They offer you 7.52%, which is really in line with the Solflare. And the advantage is if you already use Exodus, it's very easy. You just add your coins, you already have your other coins there, and you add some more coins, super easy. If you're using Ledger Key, well, you can stake directly with Solflare and connect your key and do it that way. And then you have Trust Wallet. Trust Wallet is extremely easy to use, but small downside, they only offer 6.5%. So they are 1% less than the other solutions, but still very easy to use and very safe. And at the end, That's the main thing, is keeping your money safe.
Thank you for that, Boris. Yeah, I think, a lot of people don't understand the dangers of the exchanges right now, so that was pretty good information for them. Now, can we talk about what people are really here for, Boris? Can you kind of give us a price prediction on Solana and where you think it will be in the future?
Yeah, so this time it's Cryptopolitan, price prediction, and digital coin price that are that we have selected. Roughly by next year, we could see going back to the 35, which was the price before pre-FTX debacle. Then by 2025, on average, we could see somewhere along the lines of $50 to $90 the Solana token go up to those levels. By 27, we could be anywhere between $100 to $200. By 2030, we would actually reach possibly around the lines of $380, which at that point would be, with the current price of let's say 13, that's close to a 30x. And then they even say that it could reach as much as $668, and in that case, that would be almost like a 60x, so close to it. So yeah, lots of upside. I mean, especially when you have a coin that's been taking such a beating, that was really loved by a lot of people prior to the FTX disaster. Personally, I think that for me, it's a good opportunity now. Everybody does whatever they choose to do in their investment. But yes, me, I didn't have really any Solana before this whole thing, and it's really opened my eyes to say, you know what, it's a great project. But before, I thought it was just too high. The price was just too up there, So I had missed the boat on that one originally. To me, it looks like now the opportunity is here again, and this is going to be probably one that's going to be performing very well in the next bull run.
From my side, Boris, that's all the questions I have for today. But if you have anything else, please feel free. And thank you again for all the information.
Sure, that's it. So we look forward to see you on the next Crypto Night video. Thank you, Colton, and thank you, everyone. I hope this video helps. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. And if you like the video at the end, click on the thumbs up.